And so do you remember when you were a kid growing up in the Jacobs house around Christmas time? What kind of celebrations did you guys have at Christmas at the Jacobs house? Did you have Christmas trees or
Oh, yeah.
you had a
I
Christmas tree?
Christmas tree.
Uh-huh. And did you have lots of presents or
Oh,
just
yeah.
had lots of presents that you give it to each other? Well, that's great. Great. Do you remember do you remember your grandma Jacobs?
Yeah, I remember her.
Her and she do you remember let's see do you remember what she was like? Do you remember her personality? Was she pretty happy? Was she would you say a nice grandma, or was she kind of a mean grandma?
Well, no, I always liked her.
You always liked her. And so your grandma Jacobs died. Do you remember going to her funeral?
I can remember we went down to Kelso to the funeral, but we didn't go. I guess we weren't. We stayed and rode the horses
Rode the horses, I see.
while we went to the funeral.
But they went to Kelso for the funeral?
Yeah,
Okay. So it wasn't, you don't think it was, yeah, so she must have been buried, maybe she was buried in Kelso somewhere.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember your or your grandpa Jacobs, your grandma Jacobs' husband? Do you remember him at all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you do.
Yeah,
You
I
do.
remember him.
What was he? Maybe, what are some of your memories about him?
He was a smart guy, I know that.
Uh-huh.
He would just could make anything.
Ah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But, I don't know about Grandma. She was, according to Mom, or
Mhm.
she came down the river on a flatboat, or
Oh, a flatboat. Uh-huh.
according to Mom, she was a rake.
Rake. Wow.
So I don't know what,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
she was evidently kind of a wild woman.
Wild woman. That was your grandma Jacobs. Do you remember? Do you remember? So you were. My dad was born in Kelso, and you were probably living in Kelso then, right? Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So my dad mentioned one time that he was born in the house that his grandpa Jacobs built. Does that sound right?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So he must have been a carpenter then, I guess, huh?
Oh,
He did a little bit of everything.
He did
probably.
everything. He
Yeah.
was one smart cookie.
Uh-huh. That's neat. That's neat. I still have some tools that were passed down, and I don't know what these tools are for, but my dad was saying that some of them are for building a boat. And so I know that your dad,
Yeah.
would like to build boats, and probably, your grandpa built boats too, I suppose.
I think he could do anything.
Yeah.
He was one smart guy.
Yeah, that's neat. That's neat. Do you remember anything about when he died? I mean, how old you were then, or?
Not really. I know Grandma married again.
Oh, really?
After he died.
Really? Okay. Uh-huh.
Who did she marry? Can't remember who. what his name was.
Uh-huh.
Their mom and dad, that's she.
I can't remember his name.
But that was down in Kelso? That was still down in, or, yeah, in Kelso.
That was,
You probably used to know it.
no, I can't remember. I remember
Mm-hmm.
Roy.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Roy?
You remember Roy, cousin Roy? Yeah. You remember your grandpa Beeman, Patty Beeman?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, did he have an Irish accent? Do you remember?
I can't remember him having an Irish accent.
No. Oh, okay. Okay. What was he like? Was he? I guess did he live with you guys for a while?
Yeah, for a while.
Uh huh. And interesting.
Hey, Mom said he was, oh, before he died, he was, he'd given up drinking then. After his wife
Oh, okay, yeah.
died, he never drank again.
Oh, interesting.
Before that, he was beating them up all the time.
Oh, yeah, is that right? Wow.
He'd come home drunk and
Oh.
beat up his wife, and she'd always say, tell him to hurry up, here he comes, so the kids would hide.
Nice. Wow. Well, that's sad. Yeah. But then she died. She died at a young age, didn't she? That would be your grandma Beeman. Yeah, Patty Beeman's wife.
Yeah,
Yeah, she died at a young age. You know,
40,
at 40.
40-something, not much more than that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then he never drank again.
Mm-hmm.
So damage was done.
Done. Yeah, I guess done. Yeah. And then there was grandma your mom's sister, Mary.
Oh, Mary?
Yeah, and then she was married to a Hall, and
Yeah.
he died. Is that right?
She was married to Frank,
Uh-huh.
and he was, what did he do? He was killed anyway, on the railroad. I don't know whether he was, they never knew for sure whether he was killed and laid down the tracks or,
Or, oh, I see. Or whether it was an accident.
yeah.
I see.
But anyway, that was Frank. Then she married his brother, Leonard.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna replace it, that's Thursday.
And then they had, who were their kids?
Yeah, they had,
You got like two different types of.
Frank, I think, was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Leonard was the second. Then she married his brother, so there was all in the family.
Oh, that's pretty good, all in the family. Yeah, I guess maybe they used to do that a long time ago when a woman lost her husband and the brother would come along and marry her or something, I don't know.
Anyway, she would,
Right.
she was in the balloon. She used to go to logging camps and stuff in the balloon and bringing them
Oh, was that right?
food.
Ah, in a balloon, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Mary did that?
Huh?
Mary Beeman? Mary Beeman would do that?
Yeah, I guess she was a, trying to think if she was a Beeman then or not.
Ah, or a Holden or what, yeah, yeah. Huh,
Anyway, she was floating around in a balloon,
I see food around the balloon.
going into the logging camps, bringing them food.
Do you remember your first memories? Do you remember do you have any memories that are the oldest that you have? And memories when you were just a little kid, that you didn't have any memories like that?
Mm. Some.
Some? Like, anything in particular, or?
Well, I can remember when we were living up in Martin.
Uh-huh.
During the winter, it was so cold.
Oh. Where's Martin? Is it
Martin.
is it on the peninsula?
That was, Dad was working in a mill there,
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
up in Martin.
uh-huh.
And I remember I guess we had an old car
Mm-hmm.
and I remember we went to the store at night. Cold, really cold.
Cold nights.
That's mostly what I remember, how cold it was.
How old were you, do you think? How old were you then?
Oh, more likely 4,
Oh, 4 or
3 or
5,
4.
3 or 4.
something like that.
Uh-huh.
I remember during the summertime, it was nice.
Ah,
I can remember a herd of sheep
uh-huh.
being driven through.
Ah,
Bells a tinkling, and
yeah, yeah.
I thought that was really great.
That is neat, yeah. Was it a small town?
Martin,
Yeah.
there as I remember, it wasn't much of a town. I can't remember the town.
Just a store, huh? Do you remember your Grandpa Beeman's house? He had a house over down in Seattle by the University District somewhere. Do you remember?
The house,
Yeah.
I don't think the house was there
Uh-huh.
when I can remember.
And then was there a house also in Greenwood? Was that a?
Yeah, I remember the one in Greenwood.
Uh-huh. And what was that like? Was it was an old house, or just, did you live there for a while?
We lived there for quite a while, seems like.
Mm-hmm.
There was one down the 3rd Avenue.
Uh-huh.
That we lived in. I know I went to St. John's
Church.
Catholic
Cat church.
Church.
Uh-huh.
And school too,
Ah, okay.
down that 3rd Avenue,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Greenwood.
Ah, okay, yeah.